Let's see. We're not live yet. Okay, now we're live. And so if you're just coming in, if you're just seeing this, say hello. So we're currently live on my Facebook profile, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube. And as soon as I see one person is watching, then I'm going to hand it off to Mark Jeffrey. So Mark and I are about to do a why, what, how for myself, and then we're going to turn around and we're going to do one with him for the upcoming Winning Summit. And Mark is obviously really holding back from speaking at this moment. He really wants to say something. Mark, what do you want to say?
First of all, are you recording this? And if not, could you?
It is currently being recorded, yes. So
great. Well, if you send
excellent.
Me the link, then I will also share
I will send the raw data to you. I'll send the raw video. I'm also going to edit it into some nice little chunks. So there will be a separate why, what, and how video that happens. So, all right, we're a minute in and I don't see anybody watching yet. So how long are we going to wait? Why don't we just launch right in? So Mark, take it away.
Okay. The first thing to say is what a treat it is for me to get to know people like Bill Patton and 60 people like Bill Patton who are wise, generous, and giving. And I've learned so much from every single person. I've learned so much. By the end, I might be semblance of wise and contributing myself. So genuinely,
feelings mutual.
No pipe dream. It's extraordinary people we've met. And what's also extraordinary is that many of the people now connect with the other people and learn and give amongst everybody else. And it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do nothing else in life, I'd say this is cool. So Winning Summit. William Patton, I think you are on Winning Person Day. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I do believe so. I do. My word is collaboration, and I'm titling my talk. I'm titling my talk "Together, Winning, Together." So because it's this togetherness, it's this team thing that I love so much, and many times I've been accused of being someone who brings people together. And it's just a wonderful compliment to have received from different people at different times. So this is, it's really affirming to know that people notice this. When you start to hear these common things that people say about you and to you, then, you start to realize, okay, this needs to be part of my mission.
Great. And for all sorts of reasons, including people are busy, don't have much time, want to protect their fiefdom. I would say that collaboration in tennis, could be a lot greater between the independent sector and the federation sector. And if we collaborated, we really might make the sport amazing. What do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, all of the best successes I've ever had in life have been because a team was built. And there's a certain humiliation that comes with that, to realize that something great happened and you or I were not the chief person responsible in that success. But yet to stop and have some gratitude and realize, well, it was a privilege to help facilitate that. I'll give you an example. My team that I was coaching, a really wonderful group of girls, and they had really come together as a team. They loved each other. We overcame some major problems, but they loved each other, and they played for each other, and they pulled this amazing upset. They were the 10 seeds, and then they beat the 7th seeded team. Then they beat the 2nd seeded team in the playoffs. And they run out on the court and they're dogpiling, and it's just an amazing moment. And then that's when I sort of start crying and walk that way and go to the bathroom
Yeah.
because it's their moment. It's not
Yeah.
my moment, right? So,
Yeah.
so, so I wish I could go run over there with them, but that's not appropriate,
Yeah.
right? So, but
Yeah.
then to realize, just to stop and say, wow, what a privilege, what an honor to be able to facilitate that kind of success. And then the next year, without me as the coach, they won the overall title. They came in as the prohibitive favorite and felt all that pressure of being the number one seed all the way through and won it all. And they sent a message through their coach to tell me that they wanted me to know that
Oh,
I
Bill.
that I set the tone for that. And that felt great. But see, it was all about the collaboration of them all working together, all fitting in, all, and, creating a structure where that could happen. So that's my why is that, there's a great quote that I saw not long after graduating from high school. And it came from a basketball player who was on a team that won a state title, but they didn't have a star player. And that almost never happens. In basketball, it's usually one or two dominant players that carry a team. Well, this was
Okay.
five equal young men who played their roles and played them amazingly. And so the team captain had this as his senior quote. It's amazing what you can accomplish when no one's worried about who gets the credit.
Amazing.
And I've tried to live that. So that's my why. I want to build a team where I don't have to try to get credit for things. I want to build a team where the players don't feel like they have to get credit for something because we are doing it together, and being as part of something larger is really a mentally healthy thing. When you really belong to something bigger than yourself, an enterprise, a mission that goes way above your head, then it's more scary and it's more satisfying when it happens. So that's my why.
Yeah. Sounds like you're in the world of unconditional giving. Beautiful. And what can they expect from your TED type talk? What one piece of knowledge? And if you're not a collaborative person by nature, what's the muscle to exercise so they can become collaborative by nature?
Yeah, the what will be the specific skills that you bring to it, and part of it is learning the mindset, because if you don't have the mindset of collaboration, then learning the skills won't fit. It will be like a square peg in a round hole. So, so first, it's the adjustment of the mindset in terms of, understanding the philosophy behind collaboration. So that is a skill. It's a soft skill, and then we're going to get into the particulars. Do this, don't do that. These are the things that harm collaboration. These are the things that foster them, and they usually run along anti-authoritarian lines. So there's a really fine line of authoritarianism that you need to stay on this side of. All right, so here's one example is whatever your rules are, whatever your ethic is, whatever your code is, you need to enforce it equally with everyone. One of the most harmful things to collaboration is when favorites are played, right? So you play favorites with someone, you give someone an out, and they don't have to experience the accountability that everyone else has to encounter. You're doing irreparable harm to the morale of your team. So now John Wooden said, I coach everybody the same, differently. So it may not look the same when you're doing that, because some players, the last thing they would ever want you to do would be to have a really slow, long private conversation that will make them feel insane, right? And other people, you go for that long conversation and they're in their sweet spot. Oh, I can't wait to have this long conversation about something. I think other players will need to be shunned for a moment, and so you find the hot buttons of the people and you learn to push them, and so and I will be very open with this. Hey, you group of people, my aim is to be as even-handed with all of you as I possibly can, and I just want to let you know it's impossible. But I'm going to do my very best. And if you have any complaints about it, you can air those complaints. You feel like I'm treating someone special. But here's what you need to know: that player is injured. So when I'm not pushing them extra in conditioning, the reason is because I'm trying to protect their long-term health. So you deserve to know that, because otherwise it would seem as though I'm not, I'm coddling Stefan. Well, Stefan has a mild groin pull, and if that becomes worse, his season will end. Is that what you want? So sometimes you have to be very forthright with the group and explain exactly your rationale for things. There's this fantasy of that leaders hold that they don't have to explain anything. Everyone should just trust them, So, and that's another best practice is when I'm meeting a team for the first time, one of my early messages, maybe on the first day, is, hey, look, I don't expect you to trust me immediately. I will earn your trust, but you also have to earn my trust. So for now, I'm going to trust you implicitly. So the only thing that you can do really is lose my trust. But I will go about trying to gain your trust. And then a funny thing happens. They sort of implicitly trust me moving forward. But I'm in prove it mode every day. I never assume that I'm going to be trusted at all times. I have to explain myself. I have to tell them the why. Yeah. So those are a few of the what are you going to get in the talk, and I will flesh those out and give a complete scheme. Yeah.
One thing. What one thing would you want your audience to get out of collaboration?
They are going to learn how to be expert collaborators.
Beautiful.
So yeah, you will come up with, you will have, a number of linchpin actions and philosophies to adopt that will make you an expert collaborator. You'll know what to do. You'll know what not to do.
My last question on the how. Great. So my last question is, right, if now you would classify yourself as an average or poor collaborator, but if they did your training, they become an extraordinary collaborator, how will their life change from predictable, if they carry on doing exactly as they are, to desirable, becoming an ace collaborator? Talk me through that.
Well, it's interesting because, this is what's happened for me. So, I didn't used to be someone that people wanted their advice, but now I am. So I'm getting these phone calls all the time. Hey, I'm having this problem. What should I do? So I consult with many people about a wide variety of problems and help them think these things through. So it starts with this, start where you are, right? Start where you are, do what you can, use what you have, right? So the first thing that will happen is you'll take stock of where are you right now. You'll be able to compare yourself to the actions and the mistakes, and you'll be able to take stock of where are you. And then we're going to talk about, well, where do you want to go? And then what resources do you have at your disposal to further along? So it could be that you need to read. It could, more than likely what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get on a call with me. So I will guide people and have a bespoke, customized experience for them, so they themselves can have it sort of fit to them. Because yes, it is a little bit of a problem when you're confronted with a big murky concept, and then you ask yourself, where do I go from here? So the ultimate thing is that I will be offering, some coaching along these lines, and that can incredibly facilitate the action, the movement along the right line, reducing some confusion, sometimes calling out some bad thinking and correcting that and bringing that into line with what's going to be most effective. So sometimes I do have to say, I have to call BS every once in a while, because people are pretty stubborn about their notions.
So what I'm taking away from this is becoming a great collaborator means more success elegantly, as you don't have to be the center of attention, and everybody's concerned about what they can give to the team rather than how they look and what credit they get. That be true?
Yes, and what it does, it creates efficiencies. There are efficiencies that are created when you get the engine firing on all cylinders. But if you've polluted one of your cylinders with negativity and shame and criticism and expectations, then you're sputtering along with 5 out of 6, right? Then your engine's not tuned. So we will help you to be the person who can tune the engine of the group that they're working with.
Fab. Thank you, Bill. Got it.
All right, awesome.
How you're going to do that in 15 to 20 minutes, I don't know, but you'll find a way.
That's awesome. All right, now, are we ready to turn it around? And I will now take charge of things, and we're going to do Mark's.
Please.
Okay, very good. All righty. Hi, I'm Bill Patton with the Infinite Vision Coach, and I'm with Mark Jeffrey. And it's been really an amazing time to get to know you, Mark. And in case you weren't aware, the Winning Summit also has this thing called Winning Wednesdays, and we're happy to bring you in on those, after you've been to the Winning Summit. And it's been an incredibly empowering time to discuss things with you, Mark, and have your vision for me shown, and then my vision for you. And then I think we learned so much from each other, and Hernan and Liz and all the others that come into that. So it's really been an amazing time of collaboration. But now what we're going to do is we're going to shift gears into your word and your why, what, how. So tell us your word, and then we're going to launch right into the why.
Okay. So my word, I just want to focus on winning for now, which is sets up the context for the summit. And winning is very powerful. Short story. Jurgen Klopp, awesome, internationally recognized football manager and coach. He now manages Liverpool Football Club. With me so far as an American, yes or no?
Yes. Oh, we really like our Premier League here. We really do. People get up in the morning and they watch that stuff. Go
Right. So
for it.
he's manager of Liverpool Football Club. And during the close season, obviously, his competitors, Chelsea, Man U, Man City, were splashing the cash, £100 million or more, on buying the world's best talent. And Liverpool didn't. And at his press conference, they said, "Hey, Jurgen, what's your take on all this?" And he said, "My job is not to be better than them. My job is to beat them." Profound. So this is the context for the Winning Summit, because most people, I would argue, unless you have knowledge and train, your way to beat more people is invest loads of time, loads of effort, thousands of balls, probably spend loads of money on technique to improve yourself a bit, probably over the medium term, like 5 years or more, and beat people because you're now better than them. Wouldn't it be amazing if you were trained to beat people with whatever you bring to the table? That's the premise of Winning Summit. So elite athletes, I know from experience, have access to the best of the military, special forces, training commandos, and other world experts. That's how they learn to win. And our definition of winning, by the way, is not winning or losing comfortably. It's winning or losing in the space of uncertainty, with pressure, and winning a few big critical moments, whether it's in gymnastics or tennis. That's where winning or losing is decided. So if you're not an elite athlete, where do you go? Who do you trust? Where do they live? How much is it going to cost? And then we have 60 extraordinary human beings like you, Bill, across Winning Player, Winning Person, Winning Parent, and Winning with Machines Day, that have boiled down winning to one word. Your word is collaboration. So that's the first big why. Come and learn how to win more, have more fun, rather than play better, which the rest of the world prescribes to.
Awesome. And so let's boil it down to your why statement.
Okay. My why statement is, if you play tennis to compete, you're there because you want to win. This trains you how to win. Simples. Where do you go to learn how to win?
Okay, where is the pain? Where's the pain of
the pain? Come on, Bill. I've had the pain for 40 odd years. The pain is called you can't shortcut experience. You have to learn by painful, narrow loss after painful, narrow loss. And eventually, if you're lucky, figure out what you could have done. If you're lucky, most people will go to their grave, they'll throw dirt on them, they still haven't figured out how to win in uncertainty with pressure on a few critical moments.
Well, and if we go with Sir Winston Churchill, we could say success is going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, why don't see? There's another myth too. The other myth is you learn most from your losses, but you don't. You learn most from your wins.
Yes, I fully agree with that.
You learn loads from your losses, yes, but when you didn't know how to win, how to lose, what the path was, and you found a way to win, that's when you learn the most.
All right, very good. So let's get into the what of your talk, and then also sort of the overall what of the Winning Summit coming up September 17th through 20th.
Cool. So we structured it now in 4 days. Winning Player.
Yeah.
Where we unpack basically the hard and the human skills of somebody like Djokovic. The Winning Person Day, because behind every winning athlete, there's of course a winning person, and we'll get that into a second. And then the third day is the winning parent day, because they are the biggest single influence on their competitive offspring, and nobody trains them how to be the best they can be for their offspring. And then lastly is the winning with machines day, which is how, if you're trained to be a winning competitor, how you're now best able to create or fill jobs in this winning with machines era. So those are the 4 days. 2 or 3 things I want to talk about in the what. One is, it won't surprise you that if we're talking about training in this space of pressure and expectation, and then playing matches of the same, regardless of your age and ability level and gender, what comes with it is a pretty lethal chemical cocktail of drugs. The testosterones, the noradrenalines, the cortisols, the dopamines, and more. So it's not surprising over a few years, you will have mental health issues. So we're having a big focus, day 2, segue, winning player into winning person, a segue, and it's called winning addiction, how to train your mental health.
Yes. Well, and I think in the pre-show we were discussing that, that there's an epidemic of mental illness in sports, and it's manifested often in players, but it also can be exacerbated by parents and coaches if the parents and coaches aren't also mentally ill themselves. So we have a recipe for disaster. And so now, how does the what address that?
The what is that we will have a leading presentation and a fantastic panel to really as a clinical psychologist, plus people that have spent their lives in the field doing this. And I didn't mean to have a pun on field and Valerie Kondos field and gymnastics, but pun it was. Mm-hmm. And the aim of that, as the clinical psychologist says, you think your mental self is solid, but actually it's pretty fragile. And you think your body is solid, but it's pretty fragile. But when your body breaks a bone, we have an X-ray and we can analyze and do something about it. But when your mental state implodes, we don't have an X-ray, we can't analyze it, can't do something for it. So one of the things that we're wanting to get out is a framework to, well, what would a diagnostic tool look like to have an X-ray of your brain and then analyze and treat? So
yeah,
that's a what.
I can certainly relate to that. I mean, I've known for a fact that at times when I'm having difficulty with some of my personal relationships, some of them quite difficult, that my game has suffered because I'm so occupied with trying to solve this relationship problem that I've got, and, we're seeing examples like Naomi Osaka and Michael Phelps and to a lesser degree, Simone Biles. And I think one thing that's going to be really interesting, I do believe that the real story of what was going on with Simone Biles is going to come out. So you'll want to tune in just for that so that you can see the difference between the narrative of Simone Biles and the reality. And I think that will be very instructive to a lot of people because once you realize that narratives are so easily pushed, that's a problem in our sport. So let's you have another word on that before we go on to the how?
It's just that we have no idea what goes on in the lives of these people.
Yes.
And we make snap judgments on what the media say, basically.
So now the how is this all going to be executed? Okay. How can people get aligned with it and signed up? And what's the early offer? Here we go.
Good. So two more what's though. First of all, contained within it is transformational training practices and processes for anybody, any age, any ability level, to win more matches pretty quickly. So that's contained in. And notice I use the word training, not practice. Third thing we do is we've always kind of nodded our heads to it. Yes, we know, but we've never formally really trained how the competitive athlete is now more suited to the corporate world to either create jobs or make jobs, particularly in this exponential growth era that we're in. So those are the three big whats you'll get out of the Winning Summit. How will life change? First of all, being on the early bird register means that every single presentation from the 60 plus experts is free. I would say that was affordable. If you wanted to, like, yeah, they're so amazing, but I can't watch them all now, I want to rent some to look at later, even that is going to be like $5.97 to listen to Bill or Valerie or somebody. And if you wanted the whole day of player, parent, person, that would be $27. I think that's affordable too. So, and you can only get it by being on the early bird register. My wish is, and every single speaker wish is that the Winning Summit is a bridge from what would have been a predictable future for you now to be able to create, train a desirable future. And the difference between desirable and predictable could be astonishing for you and the people that you train with.
Yes. And I want to share something as well, because in 2010, I was in a pretty catastrophic car accident, which left me with a major concussion. And I was having migraines and I was foggy and I had a loss of emotional control. I was a wreck for 6 months. And during that time, I set about re-examining everything I do and learning mindset shifting towards the positive, good things that I needed to become. And that's why I'm here today. So I had sort of hit rock bottom, and you don't have to hit rock bottom for it to happen. But, whether you're feeling like, like you're failing, or whether you're feeling like you have unfulfilled potential, or whether you're feeling like there's a little edge out there that you wish you had, then you're going to get a richness of experience, wisdom, concise talks that will give you the skills that you need to succeed, maybe beyond your wildest dreams. For me, it was a dream come true to even be able to have a conversation with a Valerie Kondos Field.
And Bill, you've just described where I was a few years ago, rock bottom. At an elderly age, how could you possibly reinvent yourself from rock bottom at this level and have an amazing, juicy life, which I do, being surrounded by Bill Patton, Valerie, and 50 odd others. So everything's up for grabs at Winning Summit. Reinvent your life, make it happen.
Yes. And so here's what I would like to say, and I think Mark will agree with this. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Winning Summit Club, right? So it really is an amazing group of collaborative people, and we, the Winning Summit people, are going to be collaborating ahead of it to try to make it, so that we will make it, an incredibly powerful experience for every single person who attends. Mark, final words.
Fabulous. Oh, just thank you for letting me be around, and anybody that's watching, just very welcome. You've got 60 people that are given everything for you. Come and get as much of it as you can.
All right. To give us the why, what, where, when, how.
It's virtually. It's from the 17th to the 20th of September, about a week after the US Open. And if I can give you the link on here, but just type in early bird for Winning Summit.
Okay, very good. So, okay. Oh, here's what I'm going to do. Watch this. I just learned a new thing right here. I learned how to do this. So bear with me a second, because I can type something in, and is it winningsummit.com/earlybird?
I'm going to have to send you the link, Bill.
Okay. All right. So, oh, what's that? No. All right. Okay. So I will edit this choppy little ending out. But anyway, let's end with a goodbye. So thank you for your time, Mark. Thank you for interviewing me. It was a pleasure to interview you, and I look forward to our next Winning Wednesday coming up. Wednesday.
Collaboration in spades. Yep. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Take good care.